Hi, I'm Sarah from Heirloom Creations, and I have a secret. I am not good at machine sewn binding. I actually usually have somebody else do it, or I do it by hand, which means it never gets done because I don't have time for it. But when I do sit down, I'm going to show you how I do it. You need three things. You need yarn, yes, about 1/8 of an inch wide yarn. You need a foot that has a hole in it, a couching foot, a cording foot, a pin tuck foot, something that is going to guide this yarn. Wait for it, I'm going to show you how that's going to work. And then a spool of wash away thread wound on a bobbin. So here's how we're going to do. I'm going to show you how we're going to set this up, where the cord's going to go, and why you want it to go in your binding, because this little cord is my guideline. That's where it is, sitting right there, so my foot can catch it when I sew it down. Start by taking your binding fabric, cut 2.5 inches, fold it in half like you normally do and press it. You need that center seam or center fold to guide the yarn down. Now the yarn is about 1/8 of an inch thick. I don't crochet or knit, so this isn't anything too special. It's 100% cotton. I picked it up at Hobby Lobby. The brand name was Sugar and Cream. I don't know if that means anything, but it was about the thickness that I was looking for. Next, you need to have some type of presser foot that has a hole. This is going to make things 10 times easier to guide and zip down this seam. Now this one even came with a little kind of feeder. So, and this is a 3-hole, kind of like a couching foot. So I'm going to just feed it through the center with my little tool, and then I'll put the foot on the machine. I've put regular thread in my needle, but what goes in the bobbin is kind of special. This is a wash away thread. So as soon as I'm done, this bobbin gets pulled out and packaged together and put aside so I don't accidentally sew with the white thread. This is going to wash away so I don't see any of it when I'm completely done. A little water will just make it go poof. So what we're going to do is set up for a zigzag, nothing too special. I'll end up, once I start stitching, making sure that the zigzag is wide enough to cover my cord and quick enough to stitch all the way down this area. So it doesn't have to be too perfect here, but really what we're going to do is I just put the cord right on the crease that the iron made when I folded this in half. If you want, you can make this a little longer, so it goes a little faster. I'm about a 3 millimeter wide, and that seems to be about right to really encase this all the way through. So this is how it's going to look. Doesn't, again, have to be perfect, but once we're done, we're going to refold this, and then this little stitching you see right on the cord here, that's the water-soluble thread. So once I'm done, that's going to all wash away. Now the thread that's inside here, that will just get left inside. You'll never see it again because it won't ever escape outside your quilt binding. So I'm going to just stitch all the way down my entire binding, and this is going to set us up for perfectly stitching it onto our fabric all by machine. Once the binding's prepped, go ahead and stitch it on the edge of your quilt just like you're used to. I always trim my back and batting after I've sewed this on and leave about 1/4 inch extra extending, because that kind of helps fill in, add fullness to your binding. So you've got this cord here. So the cord is going to be your guide. On the machine, we have my most favorite edge stitch foot, edge joining foot. Pretty much it's a foot with a blade down the middle. That blade is going to be right on top, running right in the groove where you want your stitches to hide for when you sew binding on. So what you're going to do is, as you pull it around the edge, you're going to pull it past the line of stitching that you see after you've sewed your binding on the first time. So you're just going to pull it there. Your fingers can just even hold it. What's nice is this blade right here is going to go down the middle, but the cord is actually sitting over here on the left side, so you're guaranteed to catch it as you sew it down. So this is what I know it's more of a feel, so when you actually feel it is when this really takes place. Now I did move my needle over just a hair to the left, just to really kind of line up with this particular foot and put my needle precisely in the ditch. And when I go all the way around, I don't have to press it, I don't have to pin it. The foot finds my groove and then keeps the cord that was stitched into the binding to the left of the seam. So I can actually feel it. It's like stitching in the valley between the thickness of the binding over here and the cord on the binding on the back. Now once I'm completely done with the quilt, I can easily just wet this edge. That will take the bobbin thread that was the wash away thread and make it disappear. It'll just come right on out. The top thread once again is going to be just left inside the binding. That's no problem whatsoever. And then all you have to do is continue stitching. So when I need a quickly sewn, machine sewn binding, this is my technique. Perfect every single time.